For anyone who's experiencing just white spots appearing on the TV, and this could be like a light that's extra strong, as you were talking about, or just generally just weird looking white blotches and things. What would you look at for that?
Yeah, so if you're seeing white spots, I think the biggest thing to do would be determine what kind of spot that looks like. If it is a very precise small white dot or cluster of white dots that look distinct, have distinct edges and things like that, those would be pixels, and those would be dead pixels. That means that those pixels are stuck in a specific orientation where the light is shining directly through. That is uncommon on LCDs as they are RGB, so they have filters on them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's unlikely that your light could get through unfiltered. Usually on an LCD, you'll find that you get black dots. On an OLED, you can certainly find it depending on what OLED you have. Guaranteed on an LG OLED, you can have completely dead pixels where they're black, or you can have stuck pixels, which can be black or white or any color. LG uses WRGB panels with a white subpixel, as well as the red, green, and blue. Other companies like Vizio, Sony, and a few other brands that make OLEDs, aside from Panasonic and Samsung, those are a crapshoot. You could get a LG panel with the WRGB, or you could get a QD OLED, which you would most likely know what one you're getting because QD OLED is very much so marketed as such. Quantum dot OLED versus WRGB OLED. That being said, if you do have a stuck or a dead pixel, that is a panel issue. There is nothing more that you can do about it, unfortunately. Contact whoever you had as your, wherever you bought it from, or contact the manufacturer and see if it is under warranty. Usually stuck pixels happen within the first 2 years of its life, and then the likelihood drops down significantly from there, because usually it's a lemon kind of issue and not a overtime use issue. Now, the other kind of white spot that I could see you getting, or a dark spot, can be where it looks like it's kind of like a halo, kind of like you took a flashlight and shined it on something.
Yeah.
You know, you have a bright spot, but you don't have any defined edges. You might have some lighter areas around it and so on. Nothing that looks like it's very neat and organized or anything. If you have that, that would really come down to a couple of things. It's either a short in the panel and or a bad light and LED on it. You will not find this issue on an OLED. It is not possible to happen on them. It is only possible to happen on an LCD or a plasma, anything that has a light that shines behind something or through something, or the phosphors of a plasma where it lights up, or a CRT even. It's not really possible on a CRT either. Not really.
Right.
But it's either due to bad lights, shorten the panel, or shorten the light, or could be due to direct heat or direct sunlight. If you have a panel exposed to direct sunlight, that heat will start turning and decomposing the liquid crystals, and you can start to get sunspots. Those typically show up as black spots, but I have also seen that hazy look, that white hazy look in a specific area of the screen, typically due to heat and not necessarily direct sunlight, which is mostly heat that is the problem there. But either way, it's not a common issue. I certainly have only seen it maybe a handful of times. If it seems like it's in a hot area, take it away from that hot area. Take the heat away from that area. Give it some more ventilation. Other than that, there's not much you can really do. It is certainly not going to be a software issue. That is going to be a very physical issue. And it's either going to be heat that you can remove from the situation, or the panel's bad and there's not anything you can really do about it.
Yeah, in any case, sounds like you're going to end up talking to the manufacturer or wherever you bought it from and just hoping for the best.
Probably.
But yeah, as you say, I guess we're quite fortunate in that dead pixels, if that is the case, do happen to be in the first 2 years, and not for, just very thankful that it's not related to the TV's age in that way. It's good to know.
Typically. I
Typically,
mean, anything can happen
yeah.
over time. But what I have witnessed in my time is I usually that stuff happens pretty early on, and you
Mhm.
get to find that out. And almost always it's covered under a manufacturer's warranty. However, there's a little trick that they have with those, including protection plans that you buy from people,
Okay.
from places. They require a certain number of dead pixels in a small certain amount of area.
Right.
So if you have one in the top right corner, three in the bottom left, that's not going to cut it.
Wow.
They have to be within a certain amount of space, and it has to be a number of them. I don't remember having experience working for Geek Squad in home doing these repairs. It has been a while, so I don't quite remember what the rule is on that. But I believe it was, I said three before and one in the corner. I
Yeah.
believe it's three dead pixels clustered closely together within 1 square inch.
Right.
So it's a very small area for that to happen, and pixels are not likely to die right next to each other.
Yeah.
Totally possible, but it's just a way that, especially with 4K TVs, they have so many pixels and
Hmm.
dots on the screen. If it's a white spot, you'll probably see it.
Yeah.
If it's a dark spot, you're probably never even going to know that it's there. They do both classify as dead or stuck pixels.
Hmm.
And they do, unfortunately, those do get treated differently as well. So contact the manufacturer, exaggerate how bad it is. I don't know. Just
Try and get it in there for a repair or a
try and get
replacement.
it in the, try and get your foot in the door, because that's really important with warranties.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that you make a call, so that way if you're nearing the end of your time, you don't have a problem.